everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I still want to continue my update with how my pregnancy went. I did already have my baby, but I left off on the second and third trimester, and I just want to give an update on there because, like I said, while I was pregnant, I was going to YouTube and I was like Googling everything. I was YouTubing everything and just like kind of comparing like how my pregnancy is going, and I actually learned a lot. So I just want to be able to give back to those first-time moms as well. Maybe they're experiencing something that I am going through, and maybe it'll help give them some closure as well. So I do want to start where I left off, which is in my second trimester. I do have a list right here. I did keep updates on my notes in my phone, and I just printed my notes out. So I'll just start from there, my second trimester update. I started to feel kicks at 19 weeks, which was pretty cool. They were just very light movements, just like my grandma calls them, like feeling like butterflies, I guess, because they're just like soft little movements in your stomach. So yeah, I started feeling those kicks at 19 weeks, and I happened to be at church. So I think with the loud music going on, when they were doing like the worship, that's when I started to feel something, and I was like, wait, is this like, am I feeling something, or am I just like thinking about it? But no, that was definitely the first time I felt baby girl's movements, which was like, it was just so cool. Like, I don't know, it was such a great experience to feel that. And then my sciatic nerve had started at 20 weeks and lasted for about, well, this says 5 weeks, but it was much longer than 5 weeks. My sciatic nerve lasted a long time, but the way I was dealing with that was going to see a chiropractor. So I was going every 2 weeks, and then it started to become more frequent, which I was going to the chiropractor once a week until I had my baby girl. So I did go for about 20 more weeks. But going to a chiropractor has helped in so many ways, so I definitely recommend going to the chiro if you're having any like sciatic nerve or just any type of like pain in your body. The next thing I noticed during my second trimester, I wasn't as hungry. I was kind of skipping lunch just because I didn't have an appetite. And my midwife had said that was fine as long as I'm not starving myself. So I'm not going to force myself to eat. And I was on a very strict diet while I was pregnant. While I was pregnant, I was on a strict diet as well. But I wasn't really that hungry. I was only eating breakfast and I was eating dinner. So lunch, I just skipped that. The next thing, I started sitting on the pregnancy ball or the yoga ball. While I was in my second trimester, I would switch out a chair and I would sit on the yoga ball and do my makeup, do my hair. Oh yeah, Genesis? And what else? So I would do my makeup, my hair, sitting on the yoga ball. And I was sitting on the yoga ball from my second trimester up until I had her. And I was also doing stretches daily. So I would sit on it for at least 30 minutes. In my second trimester, I did start doing daily walks. That was a must because I heard that helps prepare you for labor as well. I wanted to stay active during this pregnancy. I did not want to get lazy. I didn't want to just sit around. Even though I was in pain, like the sciatic nerve was killing me, you guys. But I started doing daily walks. That, helped get me moving, even if it was just a short time. Like we would start off at, like 10 minutes, 20 minutes, 30 minutes, and then so on. But I would definitely just start small, just start where you're at. Also, I started drinking the red leaf tea. My midwife provided the tea for me. It's called Nora's tea. And she and her partner make these teas. They make everything homemade. So I started getting it from my midwife, and I was drinking the Nora's tea from the second trimester all the way to the third trimester and all up until labor, actually. So far, that's what I could remember because that's what I wrote down. I'm sure there's probably more things in between, but you guys, pregnancy goes by so fast. Like once it's over, and you don't even remember the pain that you were in. Like, I don't even remember getting up to use the restroom all the time. Like, I would go pee about 4 times a night, like always getting up. I hardly remember that. I hardly remember the sciatic nerve or just like the back pain. Oh, also, that's what it was. The leg cramps. So like the muscle spasms and all of that, I hardly remember. But yeah, it definitely goes by fast, and it's all worth it. Like, honestly, it's just such a great experience. Whether, I know some people have horrible pregnancies, but even that is an experience itself, and you just kind of got to be thankful, you know, that be thankful that you could even have a child, because there are many women that cannot have babies. And yeah, just be grateful that you can. But let's go on to my third trimester update. Let me know if this happened to you guys, but my shoe size, my foot size grew 1 size bigger. Like, I never knew your foot could grow. And it's not that it got wider, it got longer. Like, I swear it got longer because my foot was still, I didn't get swollen feet until probably the very last 2 weeks of my pregnancy, but my foot was still like narrow, and it got longer because my toe was like sticking out of my sandals and hitting the beginning of my shoe. It was crazy. And I remember when I was at Boot Barn, I was buying new boots, and the ladies were like, I think I was I don't know how many weeks pregnant. I want to say maybe like 25 weeks pregnant when I was buying these boots. And the ladies had noticed that I was pregnant, and they're like, oh, like, be careful with buying new shoes because some women's feet do get bigger. And I was like, no, like, that cannot be, you know, like, how does your feet grow? And I was like, okay, thank you. I was like, I've never heard of that, but like, I'll definitely watch out. What do you know? My foot grew. So in my third trimester, my feet did grow to 1 size bigger. So just be prepared for that. But let me know if that happened to you girls, because that's just odd. Very odd. The next thing, I started eating dates in my protein shakes. It was very hard for me to eat dates. I don't know. I'm just like not that great when I'm supposed to be eating like vegetables. I could eat fruit. I love fruit. But with eating vegetables, baby, are you getting hungry? It's probably like, Mom, feed me, I'm getting hungry. But yeah, so I started eating dates. I would try to eat them daily. It was kind of hard for me, but I did throw them into my protein shakes. And with the protein shakes, I did have just like my milk, dates. I put chia seeds. I put protein powder, peanut butter powder. What else? I feel like there's something else that I add to my shakes. I don't know, like, I have a lot of stuff that I like to throw in my shakes. Then I started reading books to help me during labor. Baby, Mommy's making a video. Do you want to be in my video and talk? It sounds like you have a whole lot to say. Yeah, she's getting hungry. And yeah, so I started reading books to help me prepare for labor. There are 2 books that I started reading. One of them is, actually, I already packed up my books. Why did I pack up my books? I think I have a picture of my books, so I'll put them in this video right here. I started reading those 2 books just to help me. One of them is a Christian book. The other one is not a Christian book, but it's more of a holistic. It's a holistic book based off of real life stories from different women who were interested in doing home births. So those were definitely good books that helped. The next thing is practicing relaxation. So I did practice relaxation for labor. That I downloaded the app, the hypnobirthing app, the Christian hypnobirthing app. So I downloaded that. Me and my husband would listen to it maybe like every other day during my third trimester to help calm me down and relax me for labor. And also breathing techniques. So it did help with breathing techniques. We did a lot of preparing because I haven't talked about it that much, but my plan was to do a home birth, and we were prepared for a home birth and everything. That story is going to be for another video because it's very long. So me and my husband will most likely talk about our labor video. But yeah, so the books helped with relaxation. The Christian hypnobirthing app helped with relaxation, breathing techniques. So I do recommend that. if you plan to have a home birth or just a pain-free birth, or if you don't plan to have any type of medication during your labor, definitely prepare yourself with relaxation and breathing techniques, because it's a mind game. You know, your body could go for a very long time, but if your mind can't, then your body's just gonna shut down. So you got to prepare yourself mentally. We started taking birth classes. So we did hire someone locally. She was great. Like I said, because I did plan for a home birth, it was recommended that we hired a birth instructor. So we did do that, and that lasted. Genesis, baby, I'm going to feed her really fast. You're hungry, baby? I know. Mommy was doing a video, but I didn't forget about you. No? Okay, I'm done with feeding her. Let's see how well she does now. My baby girl, are you gonna be good for mom? Okay, birthing class, we did that. The birthing class was so much fun. It was about, I want to say 8 classes. We got together once a week. So that took about like 2 months to finish, but it was really interesting, and we learned so much. And we learned so much during that birthing class, like a lot. I think every first-time parent should get a birthing instructor. That helped us so much. Like, we learned a lot, not just about what to do during labor, but we learned about the woman's body and how and why the body does what it does. So that was great. The other thing was the muscle spasms that I started getting in my 3rd trimester. Like, I guess they call them Charlie horses. They were horrible, but I started taking magnesium. I would drink magnesium every day, so I bought a powder from Target, and I would just mix it in water before I went to sleep. So probably about an hour before I went to sleep, I started drinking the magnesium, and it did help relax my body, and it did help with the muscle spasms as well. So if you guys are going through that, definitely try magnesium, but you do have to take it daily in order for it to work. People will just take it one day and be like, no, it doesn't work. It's like, you have to keep doing it. It's like a medication that the doctors give to you, you know? You have to take it daily. Then I started getting swollen feet towards the end of my pregnancy. I want to say the last couple of weeks. But if you're getting swollen feet during your pregnancy, like early in your pregnancy, there could be a problem, and in the middle of your pregnancy, that probably means that you do need to eat more protein and hydrate a lot. You need electrolytes and you need more protein. Try to stay away from the sugary foods and fruit as well, because fruit does have sugar. Even though it's a natural sugar, it could still be causing bad symptoms during your pregnancy. That's just what I learned. So obviously I'm not a doctor. This is not like medical advice that you should absolutely do. I'm just telling you what worked for me and what my midwife told me. The other thing to help with labor was squatting every day. So every time I would reach down for something, if I was going into the bottom cabinets, or if I dropped something and I was picking it up, I would just squat, like have a good form in a squat, so that way it could help prepare me for labor as well. I don't know, I was probably doing maybe 50 squats to 100 squats a day, but I would try to incorporate squats like on a daily basis just to help me, because I did not want to like work out. I wasn't really working out during my pregnancy because I didn't work out so much before my pregnancy. So I would just do squats whenever I would drop something or needed to pick something up. The other thing, oh my gosh, sneezing and peeing at the same time. That still happens till this day. Yeah, if I have a full bladder, every time I sneeze, I would just pee a little bit. I mean, it was a couple drops. It wasn't like a lot, but that's definitely normal during pregnancy, especially during your 3rd trimester. And that still kind of happens now. I might start seeing a pelvic floor therapist. I did see a pelvic floor therapist during my 3rd trimester too, but I might go back. Yeah, you know, because you're literally pushing out a child, so, and you have a lot of muscles in your pelvic floor, which I learned as well when I went to see the pelvic floor therapist. There are a lot of muscles that nobody knows about, and they teach you how to move those muscles, how to squeeze them, how to tighten and loosen, all of that. So That did help when I was peeing a little bit during sneezing. And also the pelvic floor therapist taught me how to push. Yeah, it was very interesting. That's like, I don't know, I could get into detail, but it's just like a lot of personal stuff. If you guys want to go, if you want to learn more about your pelvic floor, then you guys could do that on your own time. But yeah, so that definitely helped. The other thing was insomnia. I had horrible sleeping. For some reason, I wasn't sleeping through the night, and I would get up at around 3 o'clock in the morning, and I would go downstairs and sleep on my couch. I didn't like sleeping on my bed. I don't know why. It was just uncomfortable for me, so I would sleep on the couch around 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. and then just sleep for a couple more hours. But yeah, I remember that as well. But like I said, it didn't last too long, and it's not like it's going to stop me from having more kids. Like, it's fine. I don't know. So the insomnia. And then in my 3rd trimester, baby girl started kicking a lot more. I was not counting kicks. I just knew I just kind of knew her movements already. So I would know that she's moving a lot. Like in the morning around 11, she was wide awake, always moving. And then again in the evening, she started moving. And then in the middle of the night as well when I was trying to go to sleep. So I wasn't counting kicks, but I knew her movements. So I was not worried about her kicks at all. I started noticing I was getting a little bit of milk. So during my whole entire pregnancy, I did not have milk. Hi, baby. Are you okay? You coughing? I got my milk late in my 3rd trimester. I know my sister was actually pregnant during the same time as I was, and we were 2 weeks apart. And so my sister had got milk early in her labor. I mean, my sister had got milk early in her pregnancy, but I didn't. I don't know why, but I was kind of worried. I was like, babe, like, what if I don't get milk? Or, you know, what if I can't breastfeed or this and that? And then he's like, no, like, leave it to God. Like, God's not going to not give you milk, you know? And then he's like, if you're worried, just pray about it and ask him, you know, like, is it normal? Or if you want to breastfeed, if you want milk, like, just got to ask for it, you know, like, pray, like, have faith that he's going to give that to you. So I did. And then I think I want to say 2 weeks before I gave birth, that's when I started getting a little bit of milk, not a lot, like it was barely anything. Then after I gave birth, my milk did come in. That's a whole nother video as well, because my labor was a lot to deal with, you guys. And also just learning how to breastfeed, that was a lot in itself. At 36 weeks, that's when I started getting tired. Up until 36 weeks, I was still working. I was still cleaning. I was still doing my normal routine chores, you know, daily around the house. And I was perfectly fine. But at 36 weeks, that's when I felt myself, like, getting tired. Like, I couldn't do anything. And that's when I told my husband, like, I'm just tired. Like, I just can't. Like, I tried to stay active during my pregnancy, but at 36 weeks, it was just like, no. And everyone kept telling me, you know, just enjoy your pregnancy. Like, it's okay to rest. It's okay to sleep. But for me, I just didn't want to have a very long labor. Like, I wanted to have a smooth labor, so staying active was the only thing I was thinking about. But when I did get tired at the 36, 37 weeks, I did slow down and I did just, like, hang out and just, like, prepare myself. I did a lot of nesting. I did get to enjoy it the last couple of weeks. And then around 37 weeks, that's when I was not able to bend down anymore. Like, I was just huffing and puffing, walking up and down the stairs. Every time I tried to bend over, it was just not happening. You guys, like, I was big. I didn't even think I was big. I thought I was still small, but everyone was like, Summer, you're so big. You're getting big. You're about to pop. For me, I'm like, no, I feel good, you guys. Like, I feel little. Like, I don't even feel big. But now that I look back at the pictures, I'm like, dang, I was huge. But, baby girl, are your teeth hurting you? Are you teething? Yeah? Genesis is already teething, my big girl. And that's the last thing I have on here, was leaving off at 37 weeks, where I'm just hanging out. where I'm just waiting for baby girl. I feel like there's more. I didn't write every single thing down, but if I do think of anything, I'll probably post it on my Instagram. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. I hope you guys learned something, and if you have any questions, please reach out to me. You can either leave some comments below, or you could message me on Instagram and I'll get back to you guys on there. But I really do hope this helps either a first-time mom or a first-time dad who doesn't know what to expect with his wife's, first pregnancy. And I do want to have my husband do a video as well on like what he was expecting during pregnancy and labor, and then versus what actually took place during my pregnancy and labor. So maybe he'll go ahead and do that video, but I think that would be fun because dads go through a lot as well. I know everyone's thinking about the moms, but the dad does go through a lot, and I feel like there is like silent pressure on the dads. Like they don't want to talk about what they're really going through, or they're just kind of like whatever about it. But I know like dads silently are going through things. So yeah, I think that would be a great video. But if you guys have any questions, reach out. Like, feel free to reach out. I'm an open book. I love like discussing pregnancy and labor, and even also postpartum. I will make a video on postpartum as well. But thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.